Let's get started. Initially, as I mentioned, I'll be taking you through my journey, right? So, I'll be taking you through the exact timeline which I followed, um, and how I made this series on diffusion based language models. So, honestly, I had seen this tweet by Andre Karpathy first, where he mentioned that this is interesting as a first large diffusion based LLM. Most of the LLMs you have been seeing are clones as far as the core modeling approach goes. They are all trained auto-regressively, that is predicting tokens from left to right. Diffusion is different. It doesn't go left to right, but it goes all at once. You start with noise and gradually denoise into a token stream. So when I read this, I thought that okay, this is something cool. I had thought about diffusion only for images and videos, but someone seems to have made it for language. But honestly, there is one GIF or one video which, when I saw, it really blew my mind. And then I knew I had to learn this material and make a course on it. Here's this GIF or here's the video. If you see, on the left hand side, we have an auto-regressive LLM over here, and on the right hand side, we have diffusion. So let's play it from the start. Yeah, take a look on the left hand side first, how tokens appear sequentially one after the other. That's how LLMs have been operating naturally. Here, I'll zoom over here. So take a look here first, only on the left hand side, okay? And now when we restart the video, then take a look at on the right hand side, right? Take a look at the right hand side and how tokens appear here. See, tokens don't appear one after the other, but they just fill the screen, right? Just how images are created from noise, right? That's called denoising in images. So here's how the denoising process actually looks like. Denoising images, and if I say diffusion, right? Many of you might have seen this, right? When we want to make or we want to build images, one way to do this is diffusion, right? So you take an image, you keep on adding noise to it, and then you learn how much noise is added. So later you are able to take noise and then build images from it. People are familiar with this, and this now comes naturally to people. But to think about diffusion for language, it's awesome, right? We start from, let's say, noise, and then suddenly amazing text or meaningful text starts appearing on the screen. Now compare the left hand side with the right hand side. On the left, one token appears at a time. On the right, everything fills the screen at once. This GIF or this video should stay in your mind because we are going to build this. This will serve as the baseline material for us as the end goal which we want to reach. We want to make a diffusion model which fills the screen like this, and it's not one token at a time. So when I saw this GIF, I immediately thought that the left hand side, where one token is predicted at a time, is pretty inefficient, right? Why should only one token be predicted at a time? Why can't we just fill the whole screen, uh, and tokens come in from left, right, anywhere? When I saw this GIF, that's when I started to get an interest in the concept of diffusion, basically. And I knew that I had to build this from scratch. So, to give you a bit of context, I already had built this series of building a large language model from scratch, which was fully autoregressive, which means that it predicts one token at a time. This has now become very popular on YouTube, and it's one of the go-to materials to learn how to build a language model from scratch. But this is auto-regressive, which means it's like something on the left-hand side, which we saw over here. It's an auto-regressive model, right? So I wanted to build something similar now for diffusion models. And last year, I had conducted a live lecture on when I was teaching this generative AI fundamentals course. I had conducted a lecture on diffusion models for image generation, and these are the notes which I had prepared for the lecture. So, before we all start building diffusion based LLMs, we first need to understand what exactly is diffusion. And I'm going to first walk you through diffusion in an intuitive way because I strongly think that all of you really need to understand the uh, intuition behind this diffusion process. Even if you don't understand the mathematics, it's fine. I don't want you to be intimidated by the mathematics of diffusion, but at least for now, we need to understand the intuition behind diffusion. So basically, when I say intuition, we all need to understand how what is diffusion, why it how it works for image generation, and then we'll apply the similar concepts to basically text, right? So first, I want to remove this fear of diffusion, which I had. I thought whenever I thought of diffusion, I thought it involves complex probability and mathematical formulations, which I'll not understand. So I'll not take that route when I explain this to you. I'll explain this to you in an intuitive way, so that all of you have very nice mental model. At the end of this journey, so when we conclude and when we actually build a small diffusion model, a small language based diffusion model from scratch, it will look something like this. So you are going to build something like this at the end of this learning journey or at the end of this course. This has been built purely locally by me, fully from scratch. I have not relied on any library, nothing whatsoever. This GIF, which is a diffusion based small language model, is producing coherent sentences, as you can see, and it's built fully from scratch. You will be doing this if you follow along with me throughout this journey, right? So let's actually get started, and let me connect my lecture notes. All right, so okay, so first we need to understand image generation and what exactly are diffusion models, and then we'll understand how and why diffusion models exactly work. So let's take a look at this video first. I'm going to play this video right now. You will see that a small dye or a small chemical is inserted into this liquid, and then we are kind of stirring the liquid. We are adding motion. So you'll see that as the liquid is moved, the dye basically gets spread out, the dye gets diffused. See, this is like adding noise. Let's say you take an image, you keep on adding noise to it, right? You keep on adding noise to an image until it becomes fully blurred. That's the forward noising process, or just noising. And in diffusion, what we actually do is that we have to approximate the reverse process, which means that if we start from pure noise, can we reconstruct the original image back from the pure noise? So the whole idea is that if the forward process is done slowly, and in that forward process, if we learn how much noise is added at each step, that same information can be used to go back and to generate a clean image from noise. So see now, here we are going in the reverse direction now, right? And the goal is to recover back the clean image. So now you'll see that as we are going in the reverse direction, slowly the dye or the color which we have added will come back to its original configuration. You'll already see that it's getting back. See here, the dye has kind of come back to its original configuration over here. See, this is beautiful, right? We started from this similar configuration, like this. We added small amount of noise, and then we reversed the process and got back this exact same configuration. The reason this recovery was possible is because the noise was injected in a sequential manner. The noise was injected very slowly, and that is the exact same process which is followed for images. So let's now take a look at images and see how this analogy applies to images.